Hey everybody, this is Jennifer Hiles, and I was born with an AVM, which is an arteriovenous malformation, and I just kind of share my story on here. So thank you to all of you who have subscribed and supported me all like this whole entire way, and thank you to my new subscribers. Um, I guess not a whole lot has changed since last time. I'm still going to New York next month, which is coming up so very soon, and I'm getting extremely nervous. I feel like if my kids were going and we were all up there and I kept having surgeries like back to back, then it wouldn't be as nerve-wracking. But when I get a big break, especially like this one, it gets a bit scary to go back, I guess. And I still have no idea what they're gonna do next time, so I guess that's a huge part of why I'm freaking out inside. I have emailed them and asked them to kind of tell me, the gist of what is going to happen on my next surgery. Because, like, at this point, I'm just curious on if I'm going to have, like, tissue expanders, because I know they're going to have to remove a lot of the. Well, they want to remove this growth in between my nostrils, which they don't think is AVM, but it is, like, some kind of vascular thing, they think. Um, I haven't noticed it getting like any bigger or smaller, so it has stayed the same since I've been home, I believe. Um, you can see it kind of just in here. Like when they first made my nose, it was like a really thin little piece here, but it's gotten quite thick. It was thicker and they thinned it out a bit, so that's good. Um, Not a whole lot's changed with this. I still try to put stuff on it, and it feels really, really good when I do, especially the cocoa butter. But I forget a lot. I'm horrible. And this part's still itchy and tight. People always ask if it hurts a lot, and I guess the answer to that is yes, it's still very uncomfortable, but I can handle it. And I've gotten some of my feeling back on my face, which is really cool. Um, I don't know. Like, it just feels really good to sit here and do this. Like, I could probably have someone pet my right cheek, like, all day and be totally cool with it. If that's not weird. It just feels really good. I don't know. I don't have the full feeling back, but I don't know. It feels great. And so I'm happy that it's coming back. And I don't know. This part is still very, very, very tight, especially my lip. When I wake up every morning, I just feel like someone put cement in my lip or something. So, but by the end of the day, it usually has, loosened up a little bit. I think with anybody with pains or like problems or surgery, when you wake up, obviously it's always going to be kind of like, like stuck. So, there's that. Um, yeah, I guess for next surgery, I guess I'm more nervous than excited right now, but I know when I wake up and get the surgery over with, I'm gonna be like, "Ooh, I did it! It's gonna be awesome!" And I'm excited, just to get that part out of there and see what they're gonna do. Dr. Weiner always does an amazing job, so I trust him completely, and I'm excited to see Dr. Kosh as well, who is the plastic surgeon, and everybody else up there. So it's gonna be good, but I'm still really nervous about leaving for 3 entire weeks. Like, that's a long, long time to be away from your kids. Never been away from them that long, but I guess you gotta do what you gotta do, right? Um, Something I was thinking about is that 1 year ago today, I actually had my tissue expanders put in my head, and it's just crazy. Like, yesterday I was looking at my Facebook and it shows your memories from a year ago, and it was showing me and Dustin just like all over New York, and I had these like sick long dreadlocks, and so did he, and I had just this pink face, different nose. It was like, whoa, to look at. Like, that person feels like I haven't been that person for a really, really, really long time in a way. And then on the other hand, I'm like, I don't know. It's just so hard to explain when you see yourself looking so much different. Like, I've changed so much in the last year. It's just crazy. just, I don't know. I had this crazy straight short hair, which has never happened, and face is different, my health is different, so I've done a lot of growing in the last year, and I'm really excited to see where this keeps going. Yeah, I was thinking about the expanders. It was like, the last day that I was in like my normal God-given skin with my normal face and my hair and like no tissue expanders, so I was just like, I don't know. It was a bit of a weird feeling. I think I almost got sad for a little bit thinking about it, but God knows that I'm in like such a better place right here, right now, so I'm just gonna be happy about all of that. And I was also remembering that like I had to put my tissue expanders in 2 times because I guess the first time we weren't getting them filled correctly, so we thought they were broken. So I had to go have a whole nother surgery, which was completely unnecessary, to have them taken out and re-put back in. But that was the first one when I actually got them put in, was 1 year ago, and Dustin was such a big, big help. And I just remember like going back to the hotel and my dreadlocks were just completely covered in blood and iodine, like they were just rock hard, like with dried crap in them, and I had stitches like all up in my hairline and behind my ear, and it was so damn painful, like especially with all like the weight of the dreads and all the stuff in them and them being like crusty hard. And I just remember like sitting in the shower and crying, and Dustin was there, and he literally gave me a shower and he washed my hair, and he was so like careful and so helpful, and I'm just so happy that I have him. Like, he means so much to me. So much to me. I'm so grateful for him. But yeah, a lot has happened in the last year. I'm reading behind you, I'm sorry. But anyway, yeah, Happy New Year. I haven't made a video since last year. I think I'm so funny. I'm not that funny, but I think I am. I hope you guys all had a really good New Year and Christmas. I know that we did. It was awesome. We had our Christmas party. We went to Hartford, and my dad's side of the family always does Christmas together every year, which I think is super, super awesome that they do that, because I don't know if a lot of families do that or not. It was a lot of fun to see everybody, and my daughters got to sit on Santa's lap, and Nakaya got her woofie she wanted, and Marlena got her little notebook. That's all they wanted was a stuffed animal woofie and a little notebook so Marlena could write songs in it. And it was just so cute to see their little eyes light up, like they were so stoked that Santa got them exactly what they asked for. So that was fun, and just hang out with everybody. It was great. And then New Year's was fun too. We had food, lots of food, and friends and games, and the kids ran around and played, so that was cool. One thing is, I hear a lot of people saying that 2016 like sucked or was horrible and it was hard, and they couldn't wait for it to get over, and I don't know, it just blows my mind sometimes to hear stuff, because I guess if something bad happened, like say somebody died or something, yeah, that's hard. Like, I can completely see you there. But a lot of times I feel like people are just being like, oh, that was hard and sucked. Next year's going to be better. But I challenge you to ask yourself, like, what you're going to do to make it be better. Like, what changes are you going to make 2017 be better than 2016 was, Like, you have to physically make changes in yourself and just the way you think, the way you act, the way you do everything if you want things to actually change. So keep that in mind, and remember, it starts with your thoughts, and you can totally have a better year, but don't just keep doing the same things you're doing and expect it to get better, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. I think that 2016 was literally the hardest year of my entire life, like hands down. Like it was hard. It was really, really hard. But I also think it was like the best and the most rewarding year that I have ever lived. Um, I'd I'd relive it like 100 times just to be here. Like if I had to, if they were like, you can live till you're like a million years old, but you have to relive 2016. Would you do it? Um, Hell yeah, I would do it because life is awesome, and I'm so just blessed to be here, you know. And even though it was hard, I had my family and I had so much support, and I had a world of support, you know. And even though things went wrong and everything didn't go right, I know that they could have been like 100,000 times worse. Like everything could always be worse. So you just need to be thankful for how good it is right now. And you know, I feel like people are always just like focused on how bad things are. They're like, oh, but this happened and that happened and that happened. Like I could hear people just grouch about things like all day, but it's like you're here and you're still with your family and you have all these good things, but it's really hard for some people to see them when their mind is just so clouded with like the things that went bad that happened. But just focus on the good stuff, you know. And I mean, I'm thankful for 2016 just because regardless of how hard it was, it shifted my life, you know, into where it is now and where I needed to be. So I think an important thing to remember that when things are hard, like harder than hell, and you feel like giving up, these are like the most important things in your life. Like the hardest things to go through are literally the most important. So if you're going through something hard, like don't give up, because that is going to be the most rewarding thing at the end of it, you know? And these changes get you to like where you need to be. And it's not easy. Like it's not going to be easy at all. Like I feel like it's going to be terrifying, and it can make you depressed and feel like giving up, and it can literally consume your mind, like with all these bad things that are happening, and you could just be like, oh, this is so hard and so scary. And I don't know, like when things get hard, people just want to give up sometimes, but don't. Like do these things and fight for what you want and fight for what you need. And like you're literally fighting for your happiness, and you're fighting for what your life needs to be or what you want your life to be. Don't give up. Like you deserve it. And I've heard people be like, oh, well, and almost act like they don't deserve it, you know. But there isn't a thing that you could have possibly do that you could do or that you could have ever done that makes you undeserving of happiness. Like you deserve that to the fullest extent. You know, go after these things and don't give up, because the reward is definitely worth the struggle. Don't waste another day like debating on if you should or not. You know, if you want it and need it, then you know you will, because your heart will not stop telling you and your mind will not stop telling you, and you know the things that you really want, because they're not just gonna be like this thought that comes in your head and just disappears just like that. You're gonna be thinking of them and wanting and needing them. So just don't wait, you know, go after it. Don't worry about what other people think. Like other people are gonna talk about you, whether you're doing the best thing in the world or the worst thing in the world, or you know, people talk regardless. So I think it's important for you just to like not care what any of those people think, and really just do things for yourself and be happy. Like you could either be miserable and have people talk about you, or be happy and have people talk about you. They're gonna talk no matter what. So do what makes you happy and follow your heart. And you know, life's too damn short just to worry about what other people think, and not do what your heart is like yelling at you to do. Like go and do it. I feel like, well, Dustin actually told me he reads a lot of awesome books. Um, I feel like suffering is like self-induced for the most part. Like, obviously, if somebody dies or something completely out of your control happens, then that's like the, small things that you can't control. There are things you can't control. But for the most part, I feel like suffering is definitely like self-induced, like Dustin was telling me. Like, a lot of people are either living in the past or they're living in the future, and they're not living for right now, where they would see just how perfect it is. And if it's not perfect or like what you need or want or wish it to be, then just go do it. Like, don't sit around here wishing for things or like wanting things to happen when you have the control to make them happen. Like, you have all the power in the world. You are capable, you're powerful, you can do literally anything, and if it's important to you, don't worry about anybody else. Just do it. Like, life is too short. You don't want to live with regret. You know, get out and do things. Whatever your heart's telling you, you need to get out there and do it, because life's too short. And whatever it is, you're gonna be damn happy when you finally do it, because you need to take care of yourself. I know people are always worried about other people and what they're gonna think, say, do, feel. It's good to think about how other people are gonna feel, but you should be the most important to you. Like, you take care of yourself and do what you gotta do. Blah blah blah. The only person holding you back is you. So just do things, and if you think anything's impossible, then if you think it's impossible, it'll probably be impossible. But if you keep thinking about stuff and making actions towards it, like, you're gonna manifest the energy to do it. Like, nothing is impossible at all. So get to it. Don't waste another day of your life just thinking about it and wishing about it. Make things happen. Like, start today. Don't even never say I'm going to start it tomorrow. Like, literally start right now. If you need changes, you want changes, I really encourage you to make them, because even though it's going to be harder than hell and scary and all those things, I think that change is supposed to be hard. It's not supposed to be easy. Like, if you're going through something really hard, like, that your life is going to be changing in it, and you want your life to change. Like, you don't ever want to just stay in the same spot. You want to continue to grow, and growth is hard, but it's definitely necessary. So go do it right now. I remember looking back, like, I was thinking about New Year's Eve of last year. Dustin and I were, in Omaha, and we were on our way to New York, and our kids were here, and I just missed them so much. I just wanted to hang out with them for New Year's and stuff, and I was sitting there thinking about the future, of course, and I was scared, and it hurt, and I was just worried, like all humans do. We worry, and I didn't know, what the future was going to hold. I'm thinking, where will I be in 2017? What will I look like? How healthy will I be? Just what in the hell is it gonna be like? And I sat there and I wasted all that time just worrying, because whether we worry or not, things are gonna happen regardless. Like, you want to sit there and think about how bad something could turn out? There's like a huge chance that that's not even gonna happen. You're literally wasting your present moment right now thinking about it. And it damn well could happen, but you worrying about it isn't going to stop it, and I'm just as human as everybody else. I know this, and I still worry. Like, I still sit here sometimes and just be like, oh goodness, I hope this goes good, or I don't know, like, I don't know. But we gotta try and at least be conscious of ourselves doing that, so that we don't get completely consumed in worrying about the past and worrying about the future, because we literally have right now. Like, that is all you have. I have so many people messaging me, and they just ask for little advice things, And the biggest thing I noticed is people are always worried about the past, and they're always worried about the future, which I am too, but I don't know. I think if we're doing that, we should just, take a step back and pray, be here now. And I think normally, like, I guess I'm 29 years old, and every scary thought I've had seemed to have worked out in some way or another, so everything will be okay regardless of what's going on. I don't know if I have anything else to say. Oh yeah, I still get a lot of people asking me why I'm doing all these surgeries. They're like, and they're really sweet too, they're not being mean. They're like, you looked great before surgery and you look fine now. Like, I don't understand why you're putting yourself through all of this. And the answer to that is, it is not just a visual thing. It's not just like an outside, I want to look better thing. I was born with an arteriovenous malformation, which is an abnormal connection between the blood vessels and the veins and the artery. I am so confused on this. My brain don't work very well. But like where you guys would have capillaries, I don't. I have like this mangled mess of arteries, and it was all in my face. It still is. But this caused bleeding all the time through my nose and my gums and the back of my throat, and I had a big artery up here that just throbbed all the time, and it was really affecting the quality of my life. And I could have hemorrhaged at any time and just, died, really. I've hemorrhaged before, and it's extremely scary. So, and another thing is that my tooth was literally like so close to falling out, and I couldn't go to the dentist at all, and nobody could touch me. If they would have pulled the tooth or if it would have fell out, I could have bled to death. So I really needed to go to New York, and that's why I started my GoFundMe page, because I was afraid of my tooth falling out. Like, every day I'm just like, is this gonna be the day that it falls out and I die? Like, it was terrifying. But I ended up going there, and like, I didn't know what they were gonna say. Like, I honestly never once thought that they were gonna do any of this. Like, in the back of my head, I was thinking maybe they could embolize a vessel, just to block it off so that when my tooth does fall out, then I'll be safe. Well, it turned out to be much worse than I thought it was, and I guess I have like one of the most, not the most difficult, but one of like a huge, like if it's a scale from 1 to 10 on difficulty on AVMs, like mine's definitely a 10. I have a really complicated AVM, and it's right smack dab in the middle of my face. So when I came there, he instantly knew what to do, like right away, and he was talking about putting tissue expanders in my face and removing everything, removing my nose, and just everything that has happened. And I was just completely blown away. Like, I never expected to look different. I've never even thought about looking different before this. It's just something that came with it, because they couldn't remove the AVM without removing a big section of my face. And so I'm glad that they're putting me back together. They're doing a great job. So no, if I was born within just a birthmark, I would have never went through all these surgeries just to look different. I just wouldn't have. Like, I know I looked different before. I still look a little different now, and that's okay for now. But like, that's just who I was, and I honestly miss that person sometimes. I know it didn't change like me as a person, but I don't know. That was just like my God-given body, and I to like a pretty big extent, I was okay with that. So that is why I do it for my health and my health only. And no, it is not all gone. I don't think it'll ever be gone, because it keeps like growing back. It's kind of like cancer in a way, and no, I don't have cancer. Thank God. Yeah, but there's still a lot in there. Like, they gotta just keep removing the scars and thin out my nose because it didn't get done the first time. It was actually supposed to be done my second surgery, but I got a staph infection and this thing started growing in my nose, so they didn't really want to touch it at the time, so they're just doing things that they were going to do before. And this all died, and so it's all scarry, and you know I guess the scar part don't bother me as much, just as the visual look of it. I mean, it kind of does, but for the most part I think I could live with it. The only part that I really really bothers me is how tight it is. Like, it's really thick scar tissue, so I don't know. I just feel like I would be happier if it was gone. And why can't I just want to look normal for once? That too. I don't even care. My doctors are willing to help me, and I already got through like the worst part of it, I think, so might as well go big, right? Get it done. It's something I really want to do, so I'm gonna do it. And I mean, I have a wonderful husband, wonderful parents, wonderful siblings, wonderful family in general, grandma, aunts, everything, uncles. My husband is just so amazing, and my kids are such a huge blessing in my life that I literally have a life just to fight for. Like, I would fight for my life every single day just to be here, because they mean so much to me. They really do. And I hope that you guys have a life worth fighting for too. Like, won't you guys just go out there and fight for every single day? Like, wouldn't you? Because if you don't, then you should build a life worth fighting for and make changes in your life that, that your life is like the best life, like your ideal picture life. And no life is going to be perfect. Don't think that. There's going to be flaws in everybody's life, no matter what. But be happy and feel love. Love is definitely important. Probably one of the most important things. So, find a life worth fighting for, that you love, that you just freaking want to wake up to.